Hi, welcome back to Dwayne's Guitar Lessons. I'm instructor Dwayne Jenkins, and this is the first time you're here. I want to say welcome, and if you've been here before, I want to say welcome back. In today's video, we are going to be continuing our video series on this book right here, Learn to Play Rhythm Guitar. Now, if you have been following along, I've showed you a few videos in this series on how to play open chords, how to strum chords, how to arpeggiate chords. And if you haven't quite caught those, that's okay. I will leave some the video titles down below for you, and so you can check those out. I'd recommend watching those first so that you can follow along with what we're doing here. Now, in today's video, we're going to be learning about the infamous bar chords. Okay, bar chords. All right, so our bar chords are how we play chords further up the neck. Now, when you're playing your natural chords, your open chords, natural chords, whatever you want to call them, there are different names for them. You play these like right here within the first few frets, your G, your C, your A, your D, those kind of chords. And they never move from right here. Now, if you're going to move up the fretboard, you're going to play what's called bar chords. Now, bar chords are the hardest ones to do because of the fact that you have to use your index finger to bar across all the strings like this, okay? Then you got to use your other fingers to form the chord and move up the fretboard like this. Now, the benefit of bar chords is that you can move them up and down the fretboard, but more than that is that they don't change shape. Like when we were learning the other chords, your natural chords, like your E and your A and your D, you notice that they change shape, so your fingers have to change shapes. But with bar chords, they all stay the same shape. They just move up and down the fretboard, and it's what note is on the string that determines the chord. Okay, for instance, if we were playing a G major bar chord, we would play it right here on the 6th. If we were playing it on the 6th string, it'd be right here at the 3rd fret because that's where our G note is. So if you're going to do, when you start doing bar chords, I would recommend to learn the notes on your strings, okay? And we'll go over that later in some lessons, but I would recommend that because that is going to tell you what the chord is. Like for instance, if we're playing a G major bar chord, we're going to play it right here at the 3rd fret. Because that note right there is the root of the note, is the root of the chord, and that's going to tell us the name of it. So if we were playing G here, and we moved up to, let's say, the 8th fret, that's a C major bar chord right there, okay? Because that's a C note on the fretboard. So what I'd like to do is show you how to play a bar chord, how to move it around, and how it's constructed, okay? So number one, the bar is done by your index finger, and it kind of represents the nut. It's basically kind of like a moving capo. If you know what a capo is, it's that thing you see people clamp on there. Okay, so your finger is going to kind of act as that capo, and then your other fingers are actually going to form the chord. So for instance, a G major bar chord would be right here. This would be actually a root 6 G major bar chord because the root of the chord, the 1, is right here on the 6th string. And we play it right here at the 3rd fret because that's the G note. So we bar our finger across all 6 strings. We take our middle finger, we put that on the 3rd string of the next fret, which would be the 4th fret. We take our ring finger, put that on the 5th string of the 5th fret, and then we take our pinky and put that on the 4th string of the 5th fret. Now these chords are not always easy to do. They're a bit tricky. They're going to take you some time to do it, so just put in some time. Be patient with it. And what's hard about them is you're using all 4 fingers, okay? So you just got to work with them. Just try to hold it, and then take your hand, let your hand shake off a little bit, and then try it again. And while you're giving this hand a break, work on your arpeggiated picking or your strumming like I told you before, okay? As long as you're working on the hands, it doesn't matter. If this hand's taking a break, work on this hand. If this hand's taking a break, work on this hand. And then try to work with putting them together because that's the foundation of playing guitar, is the 2 hands working together, developing those motor skills, okay? That's what we're trying to do here, is developing the fundamental motor skills of playing the guitar. And this is rhythm guitar, okay? So what I would recommend doing for playing bar chords right off the bat is get that index finger. Take the index finger, use the back of your thumb. If you can see my thumb right here, it's kind of pressing against the back of the neck. You take that and you kind of squeeze it like this. Okay, squeeze those strings on there and strum down And just get used to that. That's what I did when I first started playing bar chords, because, you know, I couldn't play all the fingers at once. It was killing my hand. So what I did is I just focused on the bar first. Focused on that, moving that up and down the fretboard like this. Then I would put my ring finger down on the 5th string and focus on just those two, without the other two. Just those 2 fingers right there like that, and move them up and down the fretboard like this. And once again, this is going to take some time. And then I would put down my pinky, try to get that down. Like I mentioned to you before, your pinky's a rebel, so just kind of, you'll have to work on disciplining it, okay? Because it's kind of like your child that doesn't want to do what you want it to do, so you'll have to work on, you know, a little bit harder on disciplining it, but it'll be worth it in the long run, okay? Now you do that. And then I would do that and just keep moving that up and down, just each fret. Doesn't really matter what chord you're playing right now, don't worry about that. That'll all come in time, but for right now, I would just do that. And then when you get that, put your middle finger down on the 3rd string of the middle, right there, we're on the 3rd, so 3rd, 4th, 5th. So a bar chord's going to cover the span of 3 frets. And then just move it up and down the fretboard like this. That's what I would do. Okay, that's how I started. That's how I recommend you starting. Now, second thing I wanted to show you is how bar chords are formed. A root 6 bar chord is based off of your E major and your E minor chord. Okay? E major and your E minor chord. And what you're doing is you're using your index finger to play the nut. So normally when we play our E major and E minor bar chord, we'll play, E major and E minor natural chords, we'll play them with these fingers. So now what we do is we just change our fingers to play them with these 3 fingers, the pinky, 3rd, and 2nd, bring it up the fretboard and add the bar. And as you can see, if you look closely, you'll see that E major chord right here in this G major bar chord. And because we bring it up here, E, F, F sharp, G, now it becomes a G major bar chord. And like an E minor, if we want to make this E major and E minor, we take that middle finger off. Now it becomes a G minor bar chord. Just like when we were playing the E major and the E minor, it's just our fingering is different, but the chord shape is the same. Okay? Now it's going to take some time. Bar chords are not easy to play. They're not. They take time. So just work with it. But they are very, very beneficial to when you're playing up and down the fretboard this way. Because if you just play your natural chords, you're only going to be playing right here on the fretboard. So if you want to play further up the fretboard, you're going to have to learn how to play bar chords. And they're not easy. Everybody's had to struggle to get them. Even your guitar heroes that inspire you to play. So just know that just think of it like a rite of passage. It's something that you're just going to work at and try to get better at doing. Okay. All right, so that's our lesson on some bar chords. There's a lot more where that comes from. You've got root 5 bar chords, root 4 bar chords. I don't want to make this lesson too long though, but I wanted to show you how to form the chord and give you some insights on how to do it and make it a little bit easier for you. Now if you want to learn more about bar chords, I have more about that right here in my book, Learn to Play Rhythm Guitar, book that I authored, self-published myself. It's got all the stuff in here on how to play those bar chords. I have diagrams, and I show you how to play the root 6 bar chords, how to play the root. So I have a diagram up there. I show you how to play the root 5 bar chords, show you how to play the root 4 bar chords. So once you learn this stuff, then it starts to be able to allow you to expand your playing further up the fretboard. And I would also recommend that you check out those other videos, and I'm going to have a couple more in this video series as well to help you improve your rhythm playing. And this book is for if there's someone who's just getting started playing. If you're just getting started as a beginner, this is perfect for you because it's going to give you a step-by-step way of how to play. how to get to where you want to get to in quick results. This is also for somebody who knows how to play a little bit, but they want to improve their rhythm playing. Maybe you know a few chords. This is going to teach you a lot more chords and a lot better things on how to strum, how to arpeggiate those chords, how to bring those chords to life, how to study a little bit, understand a little bit about chord theory, practice habits, things like that. So if you want to check that out, I will leave the links below as well for you, so that'll really help you out. And watch those other videos because it's going to really help you to bring it all together. So practice, work on your bar chords. These are not easy, but if you take some time with them and just be patient, I guarantee you, they'll open up a whole new universe for you. All right, so keep practicing, and I'll see you at our next lesson.
Audio Jungle.